The way we share intimacy feels like a dance that only we know. And in that dance, I want to make sure nothing disrupts the rhythm we've created together. Being possessive of our intimate moments is not about controlling, it's about recognizing how sacred and private this space is and wanting to protect it from anything that could threaten its purity. I'm not trying to keep you to myself in a selfish way. I just want to ensure that the love and intimacy we share remain untouched by the outside world. Every time we share an intimate moment, I'm reminded of the depth of what we have. It's a bond that feels too precious to let anyone else in on. I want to be possessive of how we share ourselves because it's an expression of trust, and I believe that's something worth holding close. In the way we connect intimately, I feel like we create a sanctuary for ourselves, and I find myself wanting to guard that space with everything I have. The beauty of intimacy lies in how it's shared, between just you and me. I hold on to that not because I want to control, but because I want it to remain sacred. Our intimate moments are a reflection of our love and trust. They are ours alone, and I feel protective of them because they are built on something real. There's something so beautiful in how we get close to each other, and it's that beauty that makes me want to keep it just between us, protected and cherished. When we share intimacy, I feel like I'm giving you a piece of my soul. That's why I want to keep it safe, guarded against the world. Every intimate moment we share is a conversation between our hearts, and I hold that as a treasure, knowing that no one else can understand the depth of it. I'm possessive of our intimacy because it feels like a promise we've made to each other, a promise to keep each other's hearts safe in every way possible. The connection we share in intimate moments is more than just physical. It's a mental and emotional journey that I want to keep safe, a place where only we exist. Intimacy, to me, is an unspoken bond that speaks volumes without words, and I protect that bond fiercely because it's ours to nurture. In the way we share ourselves, there's a quiet understanding between us that feels too beautiful to disrupt, which is why I find myself protecting it with everything I have. What we share in those intimate moments isn't just for anyone, it's for us. And I want to guard it because it's something too precious to lose. There's a rawness in the way we connect intimately, and I hold on to that vulnerability because it's where we're most real with each other, and that's something I can't let go of. When we share intimacy, it's like the world fades away and only we exist. That's the kind of bond I want to protect because it's built on something that feels sacred. Our intimacy is an expression of everything we've been through, everything we trust in each other, and that's why I keep it close, like a treasure. It's not about being possessive of you. It's about being possessive of the connection we've built in these intimate moments where nothing else matters but us. Every intimate gesture feels like a silent promise between us, and I protect that promise because it's something that binds us closer together. I feel possessive over the moments we share because they are the most vulnerable we've been. And in vulnerability, I want to ensure that our bond is safe and cherished. What we share in intimacy is beyond words. It's a language of its own, and I want to hold that language close, only between us. The way we connect intimately is a dance that no one else can lead, and I want to keep that dance between us, where the rhythm is our own. There's a deep beauty in the way we get close, and I want to preserve that beauty because it's a reflection of how far we've come together. Every time we share ourselves, it's a reaffirmation of our bond, and I hold on to that bond fiercely because it's the truest thing I know. The intimacy we share is a sacred space, one that only we understand, and I feel protective of that space because it's where our hearts truly meet. In the moments we get close, I feel like we're creating something that no one else can replicate, and that's what makes me want to hold on to it with all I have. When we share intimacy, it's not about ownership, it's about guarding the trust and connection we've built, something that feels irreplaceable. I'm possessive not because I want to control, but because I want to keep the moments we share sacred, a place where only our hearts reside. There's something deeply powerful about knowing that the way we share ourselves is uniquely ours. It's not just about physicality, but about owning each moment together in a way that feels sacred and protected. When it comes to intimacy, I'm not just interested in the touch. I'm interested in the connection that goes beyond words and space. It's the kind of bond that feels like it was meant for only us to explore. I'm possessive over how we get intimate because in those moments, I feel as if we're creating something no one else could ever replicate, a secret world between just you and me. The way we share intimacy is an extension of our trust and vulnerability. It's not just a physical act, it's an emotional dance that I want to protect fiercely. Being possessive over how we connect intimately isn't about control. It's about cherishing and valuing something so deeply personal that it feels too precious to share with anyone else. I love knowing that the space we create for each other is ours alone, where every gesture speaks of the care we've built together, and nothing else matters but us. Intimacy, for me, isn't just an experience. It's a reflection of the emotions, the trust, and the bond we're constantly weaving. I hold it close because it feels like it's meant to be just ours. When I think about how we get intimate, I want it to be a space where we can completely surrender, free of anyone else's influence. It's a place where only our hearts are involved. There's a kind of magic in how we share intimacy, and it makes me protective over it. Not because I want to control, but because I want to honor how special it is. In every intimate moment, I feel as if we're not just existing in the same space. We're creating our own world where we can be free, and that's something I want to safeguard. The most intimate moments we share are a reflection of the trust we've built. It's a space where we are free to be ourselves without judgment, and I hold that as something irreplaceable. I'm protective of our intimacy because I feel it's where our truest selves meet, a place where I want to be able to give all of me without hesitation. To be possessive over how we share our love isn't to claim it, but to celebrate the rare bond we have, one that doesn't need to be shared to be meaningful. The moments when we connect deeply feel so rare and precious that I find myself wanting to hold on to them with everything I have. Intimacy, for me, is not about ownership. It's about creating a private universe where we get to be the only two people that truly understand what it means. I'm not possessive because I don't trust you. I'm possessive because the connection we share feels so rare and worth protecting at all costs. Every intimate touch, every shared gaze is an extension of what we've built. I want to make sure that space is always ours and never diluted by anyone else. To be possessive over intimacy is simply to be protective of the most vulnerable and beautiful side of us, where everything else fades away except for the love we share. Our moments together are like a secret only we understand, and I hold them close, because in this world, what we have is uniquely ours. The vulnerability we share in intimacy is something I protect, not out of fear, but because it's where the rawest version of ourselves meets in perfect harmony. I feel like every intimate moment we share is a step deeper into a world where only we belong, and that's why I want to keep it sacred and ours. The thought of our intimacy being shared with anyone else feels wrong to me because what we have is built on something too pure to be disturbed by others. Every intimate gesture between us is a thread that ties us closer together, and I find myself holding onto those threads, fiercely protecting the bond they create. I'm not possessive over you. I'm possessive over the way we connect because it's a space where only our hearts should be allowed to roam free. When we're intimate, I feel like we're speaking a language no one else understands. And that's something I want to protect with every part of me. The beauty of intimacy is how it transcends everything else, how it's ours and ours alone. And I want to guard it because it feels too special to share. I don't need to control how we get intimate. I just want to ensure that it's always a sacred act of connection between us, free from any outside influence. When I think about how we share ourselves, it's not about possession. It's about making sure that what we have stays pure, untouched by anything that could dilute it. Our intimacy is a mirror reflecting the depths of who we are, and I hold it close because it's a reflection of trust, love, and care that no one else can touch. Every touch, every kiss feels like a promise between us, and I'm protective of it because promises like that are meant to be cherished.